So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me. simultv.com, sonny boy.
simultv.com.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
simultv.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. simultv.com.
Welcome to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, where in a single moment you can recognize your brilliance and change your life. This is a transformational hour that covers an array of topics that demonstrate how individuals use their native talents, as shown in their name, to look at the ordinary in extraordinary ways. Now, Albert Einstein once said that everybody's a genius. Why would one of the smartest people on the planet declare that everyone is a genius unless he knew that to be true? I'm your host, Sharon Lynn Wyeth, creator of Namology Science and author of Know the Name, Know the Person. And in each weekly show, you'll hear the fascinating ways other people discover the genius in them and what they were able to accomplish. At the end of tonight's show, you'll hear clues on how you can recognize your own innate genius. Now, all over the world, people have many, many diverse interests. And in that vein, people have asked about different occupations, different areas of life that have highly interested them. People want to know how highly successful people have managed to achieve their genius mindset when they're utilizing the gifts that we see in their name when we use namology science. So how does someone express their creative talents, and how does someone share those gifts with others in such a way that everybody benefits? Our expert tonight is Maggie Hunts, who has developed her genius in the area of assisting people to navigate being a diabetic in a very positive manner. Now, Maggie Hunts is an award-winning stand-up comic and entertainer. Just wait till you hear her tonight. You guys will just love her. Maggie opened for Mary Tyler Moore when she was awarded Woman of the Year in New York City. But Maggie Hunt started out doing everything her mother told her to. Okay, so she skipped a few dating suggestions and coming over every Sunday night for dinner, but she worked 30 years in corporate America, just like her mom had planned for, in a international high-tech sales and marketing. Now, one day, Maggie took a severance package from Intel Corporation, shifted gears, and she started her own company. It's called It's a Sweet Life Now, Living Healthy and Happy with Diabetes. And this was her response to being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes over 35 years ago. It's so easy to freak out when you hear that you or someone you love has diabetes. So how do you manage? That's where Maggie's work comes in, as she supplies an upbeat approach to still living a healthy and happy life, even if you have diabetes. Now, I was looking up the stats, and it's almost like 1 in every 3 adults has diabetes. So I think this is really important that we listen to how to deal with it in a positive manner. So whether it's in her book, in the Sweet Life Now, A Guide to Living Well and Happy with Diabetes, or It's a Sweet Life Now podcast, she shares how to raise your spirits, not your blood sugar. She's also giving us all a free ebook to solve this holiday food temptations. Anyway, I'll talk to you about that later in the show. Welcome to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You radio show, Maggie.
I am so glad to be here, Sharon. I love being considered a genius. You're fabulous.
Well, we all have it somewhere. We just have to find it, right?
I know. I've been looking for a long time. I'm so glad we had this conversation.
Since you addressed living with diabetes, Maggie, how did you first react when you heard that you were diabetic?
Well, it's interesting because first I thought, oh, that's that sugar disease. Like I didn't really know anything about it because I never ate a lot of sugar. And then when they told me about it, I thought, that's the one with the needles. Ooh. And I always used to joke with my mom that she never had to worry about my having drug issues because I was too afraid of needles. Well, sometimes you get a chance to get over those things. And now I just feel really grateful. But I went through so many stages of being a fanatic, a slacker, and now it's just day in and day out to feel great.
I have watched different friends who have been diagnosed with diabetes and watched their reactions going through it. And it seems to me that the very first reaction everybody has is fear. Would you agree with that?
I think that's true no matter what you're being told, whether it's diabetes or really anything health related or just any major change. We're like, oh my, what will that be like? And then we find out it's not so bad.
Well, I think we get to face our fears, don't we? And that
Truly.
one's kind of in your face. Okay, so I wish to remind you, Maggie, that, and our audience also, that since you're not a physician, we can't diagnose or prescribe on the show, but we can certainly educate people. So with so many, like 33% of adults being diabetic, what exactly does that mean for the 2/3 that aren't diabetic?
Well, really, what made the diabetes numbers go so crazy that became 1 in 3, and now it's really almost 1 in 2. And that's because they included pre-diabetes, where you have higher elevated sugar, but not high enough to be diabetes yet. So that's why it really affects all of us. And really, everybody knows somebody with diabetes. So if we can just be a little bit easier on our bodies and not have to force our liver to kick out a lot of insulin and things like that, we can really feel good. And sometimes people don't realize that they may not feel so good because of diabetes.
So diabetes is known as the sugar disease, but I don't understand exactly what that means. Because again, I'm not a physician and I don't have it. So I haven't had to educate myself. So
no problem.
For those of us who really are clueless, except for that we know that somebody that has it has to be very careful with what they eat, talk to us about it. What do those of us who don't have it need to know so that we can support our friends who do have it?
Okay, this is really great. The key is all food turns into sugar as it digests, right? That's how your body uses it. So it's just a matter of how fast does it turn into sugar. So sweets and liquid sugar like soda, regular soda, will turn into sugar really fast. And then there are things like your basic carbohydrates that the simple carbohydrates turn really fast. The more complex ones with fiber and a little bit of fat rolled in, they turn like maybe 4 to 6 hours. A really high sweet sugar might turn into sugar in like 15 minutes. And then protein will not turn into sugar for a lot longer. And if you eat all kinds of carbohydrates, protein and fat really won't raise your sugar very much.
Ooh, so that would say that maybe the Atkins diet is a good diet for people with diabetes?
It's a good diet in that you just don't want to go crazy. And it's so funny. My diabetes educator always says moderation. And I used to hate that word. And now I just feel like occasional sin is a better word. So you don't want to eat so much protein that it's hard on your body. You don't want to go protein berserk. But if you balance your meals and ease up on the flour and the carbs and the baked goods and all the stuff that is so around, especially in the holidays, you won't be working your body as hard to process all that. And that's the key to living healthy with diabetes. Add the vegetables and the lower carb foods because that will enable you to love your food but not raise your sugar.
What about butter? I always think everything's better with butter on it. How does
I
butter
know.
affect this?
Well, fats, it's really kind of interesting. For a while, remember when everything was like no fat, no sugar? But then that's not actually so good for you. If you have some healthy fat like avocado or, I eat goat butter or grass-fed butter, then that way you're adding the fat in and your sugar, the foods you eat won't digest so fast. So you won't spike your sugar if you add a little bit of fat in there. It's actually a good thing.
Okay, now this is the part of the show where we interpret a portion of our guest's name. Are you ready, Maggie?
Drum roll. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so your entire name says that you are a factor for change, that you can deal with change a lot faster than the average person around. So that one of the things you're here to do is to help people learn how to change and be comfortable with it. So I love the fact that you're working with the diabetes, because that's literally helping others change, change their opinion of it and change how they're living. So your name also indicates that you're here to learn how to manifest. So, and able to learn how to do something, when that's one of the 7 reasons that you come, you have to practice all the time. So you look over your life of what you've been able to manifest and what you've been able to get done because of it. Your name also indicates that one of the things you're learning how to do is not let other people manipulate you. And so that, combined with your giving nature, which is in your name, it's kind of like, okay, you're a natural giver. And so you've got to watch that people don't take advantage of that. Your name also indicates being incredibly independent, having a great sense of humor, and really knowing how to work hard, but at the same time being incredibly sensitive to other people. So that's just some of what your name indicates.
I love that. Factor for change. That's like my whole life. That's really beautiful. Thank you. I took notes. And I read your book and I still took notes. Every time you speak, I just love to learn from you. You're really fabulous. Thank you, Sharon.
Hey, my pleasure, Maggie. So I love it that you're sharing your knowledge with all of our listeners today, because it's a time. Now, you've written a book. Just give us the name of that one.
It's called It's a Sweet Life Now, a guide to living well and happy with diabetes.
So it takes us through, does each chapter take us through a different aspect of what the change is that we have to do?
Yes, but I love to, I like to play. We don't need any more help being stressed out in our lives. We have that handled. So it's an upbeat approach to living with it. So how to get back on the horse when you've trotted over to Krispy Kreme is the title of Eating Out. And then there's Eating In. Don't rip the door off the fridge because you're starving. There's different chapters, and I don't wanna was my exercise chapter. So it's all fun and lighthearted so you can learn how to feel better.
Now, I want to know more about the I don't want to. Anyway, after our break. My mother used to say when I was growing up that was my favorite sentence, I don't want to. Anyway, we need to take a break. Stay tuned to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which is being heard on xzbn.net and X Zone Broadcast Network, and on the website, knowthename.com. Now, after the break, we're going to find out how regulating your food intake can change your life. Stand by.
Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com. or www.xzonetvchannel.com, or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light. The new nonfiction book, Razor of Madness, is similar to cult movies like Clockwork Orange, Dragon's Tattoo, or The Other Side of Hell. Wayne Morin Jr. and Thomas Lee Howe will expose widespread and systematic deficiencies in this thought-provoking tell-all novel. Mind control rages among scholars in law schools. Human rights are ignored while thought reform and mental manipulation are accepted practices used as behavior modification. Dr. Louis Jolyon West comes to mind. Media and public scrutiny shows that United States mental hospitals are in fact destructive murder industries. Razor of Madness expose novel details this epidemic through an in-depth professional and personal investigation. For decades, there has been a revolving door policy that still releases killers and pedophiles back into society. The maestro of mind control continues to haunt America to this very day. Razor of Madness is available in paperback or as a downloadable ebook at Amazon.com.
Welcome back. I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, and you're listening to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which is being heard on xzbn.net and knowthename.com. Now, our guest tonight is Maggie Hunts, who's an expert on how to live with diabetes. Her website is Sweet Life Now, not It's a Sweet Life Now, right?
They'll both work.
Okay, both work. Wonderful. Okay, so right before the last break, you were telling us about some of the chapters in your book. And I really want to hear more about the I don't want to chapter, because Mother said that I used to use that as one word, and that was my common answer when she'd ask me to do something. My answer was always, I don't want to. So I want to hear about this chapter.
I feel that way so often. In fact, I'm working on an app, and it's so funny because all I keep wanting to add is, in the book, the I don't wanna is about exercise. But to me, that really fits everything. You know, like I want to have a section in the app that's, for when you can't make me and don't tell me what to do. And that's how I feel my approach is so often with diabetes. Like, don't tell me what I can eat and don't tell me what I need to do. And yet, when I follow the basics, I feel better. I hate that, but it's really true. And I got to see with my mom when I don't exercise what that looks like. It's not attractive. I think I'm so grateful to her for the example of stay fit, stay healthy, and do it. Just find ways to do it that you enjoy.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
I totally agree with you. Are you kidding? I could do the food till the cows come home. But I found something called the Perfect Workout, which is a 20-minute workout. And I thought, oh, and you don't even sweat like a crazy. And I thought, okay, I could do that. So I do that.
Okay, now I'm more interested in that. Only 20 minutes. I think all of us could do that.
I know. It's not cheap, but it's worth it to me because you have somebody that you've got to meet, and then they keep your form perfect so you don't need to recuperate. I really like it.
That's cool. Now, do you wish that there was some fact that everybody who has diabetes and doesn't have diabetes would understand? And if there was like a really important fact to know, what would that be?
What would that be? I think what's important for somebody living with diabetes is really important for everybody. It's kind of like the benefit of it is we have short-term complications to not taking care of ourselves and long-term, but everybody has the long-term ones. So you don't want to wait until you have something really major happen. If you're feeling tired or you're going to the bathroom all the time or you're just so thirsty you can't believe it, those really are symptoms of diabetes. And 90% of the population has type 2. And those are some of the symptoms of type 2 diabetes. So doctors are checking it more often. And when you find out, that's actually the good news. It's the problem isn't the diagnosis, it's having it and not knowing you have it, so that this way you can take care of it and feel better.
Now, I know people that lost weight when they became diabetic, and they were so thrilled to be losing weight that they didn't want to do anything about it until it got really bad, and then there was damaging. So, what have you seen among the different people that decide to let this go, and how long can you let it go? Do you have any idea before it really does affect you?
I'll tell you, it's really true for all of us because I can have days and years. I had years where I felt like I was a fanatic. I mean, I weighed everything. Even in a restaurant, I brought out a little scale and a guy thought I was going to mail the meat. I mean, it was just crazy. And but I find that there are days that you want to just ignore it and not pay attention to it. And then there are people that do that all the time. But you know what? They are tired. They are peeing a lot. They are thirsty because those are the symptoms of high blood sugar and they come back in a nanosecond. So when you ignore it, you're not ignoring it. You're just not paying attention. And when I do pay attention, I feel better. And I really hate that part, but it's true. If you pay attention, you feel better. That's really true for everybody.
Now, I noticed when I've been around you that you bring your own snacks places so that you can eat when you need to eat and that you've got something healthy that you can grab. So what are some of those snacks that we could share with others that maybe that would help them?
Well, I find it really key because I eat organic and not everybody has to do that, but I don't want to eat the chemicals and pesticides that other people put even on vegetables and salads. It's like, no, thank you. So I bring my own food. In fact, we used to travel and meet each other at seminars, and I would go to Whole Foods first as soon as I landed, and then I would get the foods that I needed, and I would carry it in a little satchel, and that way I'm good to go. And I've got the salad, I've got the, wild or grass-fed meat that's on top of it so I can feel good. I'm not vegan. That was really fun. But I'm eating meat now and I just feel really good. So some of the snacks that you could get, like, every conference or everybody always has like the cookie break or the donuts or things like that I want to stay away from. So the key is not to be hungry. So I like to buy the almond yogurt that's thick and creamy, and you can get that at Whole Foods. It's made by Kite, Kite. It is delicious. And then I add my own vanilla stevia to it so that it tastes nice and sweet, or I'll buy Lily's dark chocolate, 70% chocolate. And then that way, when it's cookie time, I can have a few pieces of this, and it's sweetened with stevia, so there's no chemicals, no sugar, and no additives. It's really delicious. So there's no suffering in eating well if you're smart about it.
Now, my go-to snack is peanut butter on celery.
Yeah, that's really good. I don't eat peanuts, but celery is a great thing, and you can dip it in all kinds of thick and creamy yogurts or peanut butter. That's a good one.
So did you ever have a close call with your health that scared you into saying, I really have to pay attention?
Oh my goodness. Yes. I've got, I once brought a plane down even when I was being a fanatic, and I was taking my 3-month-old daughter to see my mom for the first time. And I was wanting to see what the stewardess was passing out for the food in the front row, in the row ahead of me. So, it's an old story if I was thinking the food on the airplane was going to be good. And then when I woke up, the plane was on the ground and I had chocolate all over me. And I'm thinking, what? Where the plane is on the ground, that's not a good thing. And sure enough, somebody had told them that the chocolate was the way to bring me out of it. But I hadn't told my brother, who was right next to me, that any of the regular soda or juice on that beverage cart would have brought me right out. But I was so close to the edge with my blood sugar before the trip, and then all the running around and getting ready, I went too low and I went unconscious.
Oh, I bet that just scared everybody around.
Well, it did, because when I woke up, everybody on the plane, like your liver will kick in and give you sugar and bring you back. So I'm back, and all of a sudden my brain is working. I look around and everybody on the plane is staring at me. And I thought, oh my God. And then I had to get off the plane, which you can imagine what that cost the airlines. I was going from Phoenix to New York, and I'm all of a sudden in Oklahoma. And but then by then I was fine. My brain was back, and I had to call my mother, and I said, Ma, and she goes, how are you? I heard somebody got sick on the plane. I'm like, yeah, that was me. And so I had to learn the hard way, don't cut it that close. And, always eat when it's time to eat. It's like doing the basics. It's really key.
You mean they stopped the plane and landed somewhere where they shouldn't have landed just to make sure that they could get you help?
Yep. They landed the plane so I could get help. That's exactly right.
That's a wonderful airline. What airline was that?
That was American Airlines. I probably owe them money. I'll have to write out a check. Oh, yeah.
But that's fabulous to know that they would do that.
It's fabulous, but you wish more people knew that it's really my fault. I should have told my brother, but I was like, I got this handled. I don't need anybody's help. I needed lots of people's help on that day.
So what's a piece of advice, having gone through that yourself, that you would tell everybody that's a diabetic? Would you tell them to advertise it so everybody knows what to do, or to educate the ones that are around you? What would you tell them?
You want to educate the people around you, and you also want to do what you know to do, but sometimes we just don't. And you want to do that whether you're doing it for the people that you love or you're doing it for yourself. Sometimes it's hard to do something for yourself. So you just want to do it for those who love you, that want you healthy, because people do feel that way. And we need to take the time to keep ourselves healthy and in shape. Because the problem with diabetes is sometimes you can think you're doing okay, but really, even just a little extra sugar on your organs over time really hurts them. And that's why it's there's all kinds of scary long-term complications that happen when you leave even a little bit of sugar on your organs over the years.
Wow. Now, how did you ever put music, comedy, and diabetes together with health?
I wonder that same thing. I remember looking up to the sky and asking God, that's what you want me to do? I know, I guess we imagine that's where God is. I don't know. But it was amazing to me because I was a stand-up comic, and I has been a professional speaker for years, but I never talked about diabetes. But really, the humor is in real life. So I started to, all of a sudden, one day I was going to a speech, and all of a sudden the words to a song about diabetes came to me. And I remember thinking, what? And then I just wrote it down. And here's what, can I do it for you?
Yeah, if it's fast. If not, we'll have to do it after the break.
Oh, let's do it after the break. It's so great. It's My Blood Sugar Kept on Rising Up is what it's called.
Okay, that just sounds wonderful. And we do need to take another break. Stay tuned to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which is being heard on xzbn.net, an X-Zone Broadcast Network station, and on the website, knowthename.com. Now, this show is dedicated to helping people learn more about diabetes and feeling okay that they have it so that they're not judging themselves. Now, after the break, we're going to find out more of some of the different ways that Maggie has helped others, being able to see them differently. Stay tuned.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologist, facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, after the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com.
Welcome back. I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, and you're listening to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You. Our guest tonight is Maggie Hunts, and she's just amazing with what she's able to do with lifting your spirits if you have diabetics. And just some of the things that she's put in her book, she graciously gave to me. I was laughing so hard, and I thought, you know what, this would be fun to do if you're diabetic. So, Maggie, before the break, you were telling us about this song that you wrote, and I'd asked you to wait till after the break. So, ta-da, we're ready.
Ta-da! Okay, here we go. So I'm in the Las Vegas airport, and all of a sudden the tune "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head" came to me, but these were the words. My blood sugar kept on rising up. The more I tried controlling it, the more it went berserk. Nothing seemed to work. Hey, now I'm in control, and I just feel so happy. My life is mine. No more wacko highs or lows. Woo! Ugh, those were the worst now. My life is mine again. Now I am balanced and free. Nothing's worrying me.
Yay! Here, my applause.
Thank you. You know, it's just so funny because I thought so many times somebody will say something and it'll just remind me of a song or a hook on a song, and then I'll just do that so that way people know this is not going to be, some boring conversation about scare tactics to make you feel better. I just think that doesn't work. We all just want to let go of worry and learn how to feel better.
We definitely do. Now, Maggie can be reached again for her website, sweetlifenow.com. Did want to mention that again.
Thank you.
Maggie, how do you handle all the fattening, sweet holiday foods that are just simply everywhere?
I know. Really, Halloween to New Year's is a nightmare for anybody with diabetes and really anybody over a size 0. I mean, do we need chocolate-covered potato chips? Like I saw that in a Walgreens, a drugstore of all things. Do we really need that? No. But the thing is, we've got to be smart about it. Like when I travel or I'm going to a nonprofit tomorrow and I need to plan the meals, and you need to think smart when you do that. Like don't walk around starving. And that's why I wrote the Holiday Food Survival Guide. And I decided to give this to everybody, to give this to the planet for free, because it's all the different things that I've come up with and all the tips and techniques to not get stuck by the holiday foods that are really everywhere.
Now, how do we access that?
Well, what you do is if you go to sweetoffernow.com, Sweet Offer Now, and you can get the free ebook. Or you can get it on my website, Sweet Life Now. They're both places, and it's absolutely free. And it's a 34-page ebook. It's really juicy, and it's got recipes, and it's got all kinds of lists to help you beat the holiday foods and feel fabulous now and really forever.
That is so generous of you to do that. And I'm sure, people will be happy to take advantage of it. So it's Sweet Offer Now. Takes you directly there.
Yes.
Now, why did you decide to give this away for free?
Well, I really, when you know things in life, like you said, and I love this. So apparently I am a factor for change, and I really want people to know that. Because when I look at all these foods and the Food Network, I love to watch TV shows that teach you to cook the very foods I tell people not to eat. Because I just want everybody to feel better. And it's not hard. if you just replace some of the foods, some of all the bread and the pasta and the rice and the noodles and all the stuff and all the sugary stuff that we think that's love. But if you trade it for the most beautiful, luscious, fabulous, different vegetables, and I didn't know how to make it, so I had to learn. I didn't know how to cook things. I learned, and I want to share that with people so everybody can feel better.
Nice. Now, in the guide that you wrote, I'm going to bring out a quote from it. You said, "But the prettiest sight to see is how much thinner you will be. When you eat healthy, you feel fabulous because you're truly wealthy." Now, I also noticed that you have songs in your ebook, and I know you just sang us one, but would you share another one with us?
Absolutely. Do you want to hear that one, or do you think you already know that one because you got the
No,
lyrics?
let's do that one. I loved that piece of your book.
I love that. Well, this is what I wanted everybody to know, right? We can all identify with it's beginning to look a lot like the holidays. Food temptations everywhere you look, right? We all know that. But the prettiest sight you'll see is how much thinner you can be when you eat healthy. You'll feel fabulous because you are truly wealthy. And I just think that's true, and I love sharing that. Thank you, Sharon.
Now, we all are just curious, what was it like to open for Mary Tyler Moore? And I know that's off our subject a little bit, but, we've got to go there because we're just curious what that was like.
Oh my gosh, she's so fantastic. In fact, they asked me to send them a CD, and I had never recorded my voice before, but I remembered that I wanted to do it more than I was chicken. So I did. And when I got to meet her, she was just as lovely as we imagined Mary would be, right? Like, you just hate when you meet somebody great and they turn out to be a stiff, but she was so lovely. And she asked me, "How long have you had diabetes?" And now I've had it for 35 years, but at the time I only had it 18 years. And she looked at me and she said, "You're just a puppy." She was so great.
We love that Mary Tyler Moore show and everybody that was on it. And I think that just brought out her personality, and to be able to open for her and just the opportunity to meet her must have just been fabulous.
It was really, really thrilling. I'm grateful to the work that I've done, whether that was in New York City, and it was in the Waldorf Astoria Ballroom with all those opera boxes. Oh, it was really thrilling. And I got to work with Ben Vereen for the, at a diabetes expo, and he was in Pippin and Roots, and he's just one of my favorites. So it's just really fabulous to get to work with all these really great people, and everybody is committed to people with diabetes feeling better and taking care of themselves so they can.
Now, when you decided to jump from doing something that you had done so many years in the corporate world, just like your mom said you needed to do, and then you decided to say, I'm creating my own business and this is what I'm now going to do. First, what gave you the courage to do that? And second, how did your mom react?
Oh my gosh. Well, I used a severance package, like you said, from Intel so that I was okay because, the stock had done really well and high tech was still really good, which is why she thought I was criminally insane. And even years later, when I was getting an award inside of entertainment from Women in Film, I was the MC that night. And my mom was there, and I even turned it to her. And I said, "Mom, aren't you glad I left Intel?" The entire audience is looking at her, and she shakes her head. No. Not really. You always know where you stand with my mother, and my Jewish mother did not want me to lose stock options and a steady paycheck, but, she's happy now.
And stuff. But I'm sure that was very scary for her, too, because she was thinking, if you fail, what are you going to do? You're going to move back in? You're going to come home?
I know. Of course, that's what she was worried about. Absolutely. I don't blame her. Now that I'm the parent, I can see her point of view completely.
Even though, I look at that and I think I would love my kids to come live with me again. First of all, one would bring their grandkids with them, and then I'd get to see them more. And then the other one is just so much fun. He just so loves life that I think I'd love to have somebody, them coming back home and somebody around all the time again. So
that was not how she felt. So good for you. She had a totally different perspective, actually.
But I can totally understand that perspective too, because to her, you're losing security.
Right. No question. No question.
So how long did it take you before you were replacing the salary that was guaranteed with now as a salary doing an entrepreneurship? I mean, how long did it take you to build so that you were all right?
Well, it really takes time. And there's times that you have really big years, and there's times that it's not as big a year. It's not a steady thing. That's what she wanted, was the steadiness of it. And it's not exactly steady when you have your own business. But I just feel like when you're doing what you think you need to be doing, because this is why you're on the planet. I knew that I could make the most amount of money that at the time with a steady paycheck through Intel, but that wasn't why I was on the planet. It wasn't to sell computer chips. It was to make this difference for people. And I use music and humor to inspire people to live healthy with diabetes. I mean, that's a pretty awesome life. So I'm really grateful.
Well, they always say that entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart.
That's true.
So I know from, being around different professions that doctors have doctor jokes and teachers have teacher jokes and travelers have travelers jokes. Is there a set of diabetic jokes that people know?
I don't know if there's a set of jokes. I just know that real life is hysterical. And my mom didn't want to know anything about diabetes when she got type 2. So I remember changing the words to, "Oy, another doctor, another pill, another prescription I need to fill, another season, another reason for making copays." And then I joked, you're getting older when you go from singing Making Whoopee to making copays.
Oh, that's adorable. We need to take our last break. Stay tuned to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You on xzbn.net and knowthename.com. Now, after the break, we'll find out what Maggie has in her name that has assisted her that you just might have in your name as well. Stay tuned.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now to receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
simultv.com.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
simultv.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. simultv.com.
Welcome back. I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, and you're listening to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You. Now, our guest tonight is Maggie Hunts, whose website is sweetlifenow.com, and she has a free offer for you, and that is at sweetoffernow.com. Now, she's taken her skills to a level where she's able to celebrate her diabetes instead of fearing it. Now, on your website, sweetlifenow.com, Maggie, you mentioned how important it is to raise your spirits and not your blood sugar. What is something people who are diabetic can do right now to raise their spirits?
Oh, I really love that. Well, first of all, they can download the ebook because there's lots of upbeat things in there. And I tell on myself, so often we can make ourselves wrong and we just don't want to do that. You want to love yourself and acknowledge all your wins, even the goofy ones. So they can do that by downloading the ebook. And I even did an audiobook where I'll sing and read the whole thing to you if you don't like to read. So allow me to help people do that so you can raise your spirits.
So give us something very specific, like one tip that you give in the book. What could that be that somebody could walk away and say, I can do this right now to make me feel better?
Well, are you talking about to be upbeat, or there's things you can do with food that's absolutely easy?
Give us both.
All right. Well, specifically about food, if you take the foods that you love and shift them, right? Like I've got a comparison of cauliflower to mashed potatoes. And if you make it with cauliflower, you get like no carbs, no calories. It's amazing. You can take a bath in cauliflower and it tastes just the same. There's so many foods. And then I walk you through the different pies so that you're educated and you can feel good. Use stevia. That has no chemicals, no calories, no carbs. There's so many great foods and I list them all for you.
I started making what I call mashed potatoes, but it's with cauliflower.
Yeah.
But then I noticed that I want to put a whole heaping lot more butter in there than I do with the potatoes.
Well, try putting a little coconut oil in it first. And sometimes they recommend 2 tablespoons. I just do 1, and it's really good. And then at the top, when you've got it on your plate, then you can put, a teaspoon of butter on it if you want, and it still tastes delicious. But you're not filling it full of butter.
Okay, thanks for that tip.
You're welcome.
What's something somebody could do right now to raise their spirits if they're down? And I think people get depressed more easily around holidays than other times of the year.
No question. And so often we have an expectation of what we think life is supposed to be like. And if you ask people how many people their life turned out the way they thought, of course it never does, right? But we can be so hard on ourselves. So we just want to look for what really works and what's good about our lives and what we're grateful for. And then if you're thinking about somebody you want to spend time with, call them up and ask them. Just be easier on yourself. Reach out to people. And if you need to, listen to music. I tell you, I've got videos on my phone that I just listen to Uptown Funk, and I listen to, Shake It Off with Taylor Swift, and Bruno Mars has got Uptown Funk, or Happy with Pharrell Williams. You can't not be happy after watching those videos. And they're only $1.99. It's so worth it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, Maggie, did being a professional comic help you in seeing the bright side of being a diabetic?
Well, it's really funny because most comics like to complain and talk about the bad side and things that don't work. And I didn't like that. So what I do with diabetes is I just joke about what we do in real life and then sing love songs to food. In fact, for Mary Tyler Moore, I had all these foods lined up, and then I sang, "You made me love you. I didn't want to do it." And it was all these different foods, and then I had to give them away really quickly so I didn't eat the props.
I bet all the people, the stagehands, loved that when you were giving away the food.
They did, because that's who I gave it to. You're absolutely right.
And did Mary Tyler Moore absolutely crack up when you're making, this love song to all these foods?
I don't know. I couldn't tell she was in the audience, and believe me, I was trying not to be watching her every move, so I don't actually know that.
Okay. Well, and that makes sense too, not to obsess over anybody and just sing to the whole audience.
Right.
If they were going to start, if you were counseling somebody or making suggestions to somebody, because maybe counseling isn't the right word, and you said this is the first time, and they came to you and they said they just found out that they were diabetic, what would be some of the very first things that you would recommend to make it easier for them to live with this new diagnosis?
Well, they need to get the facts. You need to learn, and you need to really be a label reader. Like, just don't go with everything that's sugar-free, because then you're filling yourself with carbs and a lot of calories. So actually, the Holiday Food Survival Guide has a lot of information about diabetes in it, so that it's really not just for the holidays. It's really for all year round. So you want to get good information and maybe meet with a diabetes educator and let them kind of walk you through some things so you understand the basics. It's even good for somebody with pre-diabetes to do, so they could avoid it and not get it. That would be fantastic.
Now, I know of people that have been what I call pre-diabetes for like 20 years and 25 years. Do you know if that's fairly steady, or that any time that could be a tipping point?
No, we don't actually know when the tipping points are. It's the same thing with type 1. You lose your ability to make insulin, and then you don't know you've lost it until it's gone. With type 2, pre-diabetes, at least half those people will go on to get diabetes, and you don't actually know when. Sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's a few months. But, if you take really good care of yourself, and if you don't tax your pancreas and your liver with having to make so much sugar and so much insulin, your diabetes can wait in the wings, and that's fantastic. Type 1 doesn't have that. Type 2 does. So making some changes can make a really big difference.
Does weight have anything to do with how to control diabetes, or whether somebody gets it or not? How
Absolutely.
Does weight, how does weight deal with this?
Well, in fact, the American Diabetes Association talks about if you can lose like 7 to 10% of your body weight. And I am so not saying that's easy. But if you can lose that, you can put off diabetes like by 58%. You can delay it or not get it. It's really extreme, because sometimes you make enough insulin, but you don't make enough insulin for the body that you have. You just need to scale that body back a little bit, and you'll make enough. So losing weight is a really big difference. That's why I'm so passionate about giving the ebook for free, so people can learn how to swap the high carbohydrate foods that's really taxing your body with lower carbohydrate foods, so you feel better. And then acid indigestion doesn't have to be the best selling. It's the third largest selling drug in the United States, because so many people are nauseous with what they eat.
Oh, now that's absolutely scary.
I know.
What are just a few of the foods that, like anybody could eat, that you would say, okay, if you absolutely don't know and you don't have time yet to read, or you're just starting to read, what are some foods that somebody could get started with?
Really easy. Take out the white flour, even the brown flour. It doesn't matter. If you just try to take out, don't just live on bread and muffins and pasta and potatoes. That's the kind of stuff that shoots your blood sugar. White potatoes will shoot your blood sugar. You might as well have had a candy bar, for heaven's sake. So if you take that stuff out of your diet, and instead you put in beautiful, luscious salads, and I'm not talking about a boring iceberg lettuce in a bag salad. I'm talking about a beautiful, luscious salad. And you could add like even a few pistachio nuts and a little shredded prosciutto and walnuts and radishes and carrots and celery and beautiful, fresh, organic lettuce where it tastes so good. And then you could put wild salmon on there or your turkey or your chicken or whatever it is you want on top of the salad. It is delicious. And then you're not overtaxing your body. And have asparagus and walnuts with Parmesan cheese on it. Have a great time.
What about salad dressings? Are they dangerous?
Yeah, you really want to, that's where you need to watch the labels. You want to read the labels. Even yogurt. People think they're being great with yogurt. I've got a yogurt table in the book that shows you how much sugar. You can get 41 grams of sugar in a small container of yogurt. And it's the same thing with salad dressing. You need to read that label. If you want to, just mix olive oil with, 1 part olive oil with half part lemon juice. And it's a really great dressing.
Maggie, I am so pleased you were able to join us for this hour. Thank you so much for coming on Know the Name, Know the Genius in You.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it so much.
Be prepared and surprised and pleased when you experience Maggie Hunt's work. Her website, again, is sweetlifenow.com. And if you want her freebie, it's sweetoffernow.com. Now, Maggie's name indicates a strong factor for change and being able to learn how to manifest her desires. The strong factor for change is in the GG in her name. It's that double G. If you have a singleton G, it's some, and with the double G, it just like amps it up, like it squares it. So being here to learn how to manifest your dreams is represented by the letter combination MA, and it has to be in that order. The A has to follow the M. So if your name has a GG in it, then you can easily assist others in changing. And if it has the MA combination, then you came to learn how to manifest your desires just like Maggie did. Do you know where your genius lies? I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, host of the radio show, Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which can be heard every weekday at various hours right here on xcbn.net radio and X-Zone Broadcast Network and on knowthename.com. Now, a great gift for these holidays is to give somebody a name reading. It's something they will always remember and something very unique and very unusual. And for more information, you can go to knowthename.com or email us at info@knowthename.com. So tune in to hear the fascinating ways that other people discovered the genius in themselves and what they were able to accomplish. In every show, you hear clues on how you can recognize your own innate genius. So remember that once you know the name, you know all about the person. This is Sharon Lynn Wyeth signing off.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
If you are looking for a safe, zero-calorie, natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for.
Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.